And when you think about whether it be a literal, piece of machinery on site, whether it be a chat bot, whether it be whatever, and they say, oh,
Totally.
it's going to replace jobs, it's not going to take in one person's job and say, you are no longer out of a job and move forward. A, we don't have that luxury in
Right.
construction. And B, it's going to take 20% of everyone's job and do that.
Yeah.
And that 20% is the worst part of that
What no
human
one wants to
workers.
do.
No one wants to do that. It
Yeah.
is dirty, it's
Yeah.
dangerous, or it's
Yes.
boring. And
That's it.
that is what a robot would be great at. And that's where they succeed. And
Yep.
that's why I'm so excited to see pragmatic robotic applications coming out to do drywall, sanding, to do upside down core
Right.
drilling, to do all of these things that are not only boring, they're dangerous, but they're not what our tradespeople do the best. And
Yeah.
it will unlock our people to do so much more that only they can do. And that should not be seen as a threat.
Right.
That should be seen as a bit of it's a releasing of our abilities that our project team can move forward. And I think that people should fear it. They should fear the problem that we're facing in that regard. But these solutions are not only going to help us solve a problem, it's going to completely change the context of what we offer when we offer employment to our industry. We can get rid of some of these things that are they're difficult, they're hard, and they're dangerous. Those are the reasons that we can't recruit in some regards. And if we free those up and we remove those from the workload,
Yeah.
I think it just opens us up to a whole different type
I'll,
of.
let's give our listeners a real life example. So our equipment yard, the RO equipment yard, I was talking to our director of equipment services, Brandon Wright, and he said, this tool, the rivet buster, it's a 40-pound rivet buster. He said, this tool is the most broken tool in our equipment yard. And I said, why do you think that is? And he said, because it's so miserable to use it, the guys intentionally break it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
It's
That
so I mean, you're spot on, Chris. There's jobs that we have to innovate the work away from a human, just from a safety standpoint. I mean, guys,
right.
it's 2023 and 3 people will die today in North America in construction. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that's unacceptable. Like
No,
that.
yeah.
And we can do all the education we want, but we're still putting people in dangerous conditions that they shouldn't be in. The only
And-
way we're ever going to get to true zero is we have to leverage technology and innovation to bridge that gap.
Well, and that's why the cobots are so important, right?
Yeah.
Because you made a real good point, because I think if we looked at the numbers of how much skilled labor we're actually missing, it's even more.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have unskilled labor coming in. Understand that that is not a reflection of the intelligence of the person we're talking about. It's a reflection of the experience of the person.
Correct.
And experience and craft is a real deal.
Exactly.
Here's where a cobot, and I'll go to Canvas because I did a bunch of research around Canvas and met with the team recently because I was doing some speaking in a wall and ceiling bureau, right?
Yeah.
And what I gleaned from it, and hopefully they listen into this one, is mudding and taping and doing those things that robot does is a skill that is just, it's not learned overnight.
Right.
Right. And they have not perfected it yet. At all the levels it needs to be perfected. But everybody I talk to that really is, of our mindset is going, oh, they're on their way there, to the point
totally
where that robot, we will have taken the skilled labor knowledge out of the person leaving, put it into the digital DNA of the robot so that it can work with the human, augment the human, allow them to do things better. But then it's always going to have problems in certain areas.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so you got a human that could be running a bunch of them and could be doing a bunch of other stuff. And now they're exponentially, and is mudding and taping and sanding those things on a huge scale the fun part?
Yeah.
No. But take the skilled person who can do a corner and who could do a rounded edge.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a feature wall. Do the where what a robot couldn't do. Right.
Yes.
I I love what Kevin's doing with Canvas, and they recently partnered with Hilti now.
Hilti. I was gonna say, yo,
yeah,
you Hilti people, I keep hearing you pop
yeah,
up. You're putting what is it on the canvas? They put the new tracks on it, and they're going to do the production line for it.
yeah.
I also heard you refer to the JBot as a platform. I'm not going to let you
Yeah, I
leave
don't want
without
to get
talking
in
about that
trouble. I don't want
one.
to get in trouble. So I'll just say that I'm very excited about Hilti and what they're doing in thinking to the future of our industry on how they can continue to be a good solution provider. They've been for over 80 years, and it's funny how when you look at someone like Hilti and go, well, but don't they just do the actual hand tool? Well, these are tools. These cobots are tools, and actually they've been utilizing robotics to build these tools in their factories for a long time. So very excited about the stuff coming from them. And back to scalability, I love what is happening in the startup space, but we need solution providers that can also meet the demands of the scale requirements, and that's where someone like Hilti, I think, can provide